And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We're talking Christian Horner defending Max Verstappen in what was, to be fair, I got maybe a bit sad, but, and there's a massive but here before anyone gets particularly angry, Christian Horner was also the ultimate team boss by doing so. There are still more buts, and we're going to get into the buts, you know, with one T, B-U-T, after this. So here, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, after everything had finished, after Verstappen got the 5-second penalty, after Piastri won the race and Max Verstappen finished second and understandably didn't want to comment. That one I completely get because the FIA, hello. However, here we go, Christian Horner, with apparently the evidence, the camera, the picture, as you can see here, Oscar Piastri alongside Max Verstappen. There is new evidence. But is it really new evidence? Yes, you can see in just about in the thumbnail, he's basically saying, yes, Max was absolutely alongside Oscar Piastri and had every right to the corner. But did he have every right to the corner? That's the thing. I am not really sure. I think he did, as you can see. This is the start. We'll go through it again. Oscar Piastri destroys Max in terms of gets a much better start. Max Verstappen then sweeping on the outside, trying to get the corner. The telemetry showed that Max Verstappen was going too fast anyway to make the corner. Now, instead of trying to attempt the corner in any way, yes, you could argue he got pushed off from some, but then he didn't go around and make the corner. He essentially just... Well, at this point, he just bolted and took the shortcut he could. And at that point, he'd already made a slight advantage over Oscar Piastri. But then there you go, Christian Horner's trying to say, look, Max Verstappen was alongside Piastri. He had every right to turn in. No, he didn't. The sad thing is, Christian Horner could not, with you look at the telemetry from what the steward said, at no point does I think anyone really... if you took the two who it was out of the equation and had just two boring kind of cars without any drivers, we would still be saying the exact same thing, because Max Verstappen really at that point, once alongside he knew he wasn't going to make the corner. He braked so late. The telemetry potentially suggested, although I haven't seen it with my own eyes, the suggestion is he braked so late anyway he wasn't going to make the corner, and that's why he just went off. And Max Verstappen got essentially Max Verstappen by his own muse. To be fair, Verstappen has come out and he was really nice about Oscar Piastri, saying very nice things. And Oscar Piastri, unlike Lando Norris though, has made a massive statement saying, no, I am not going to be nice when it comes to Max Verstappen. I'm going to be racing you hard just like you race everyone else. Wow. What a potential championship we have with Lando Norris hopefully in the mix from Miami. That would be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, I digress. So rewind back to this Christian Horner defending the indefensible, in our opinion, Max Verstappen. And what I like about this, so if I just go up, if I just cancel the post here and go up, Formula God, let's say what we think. Whether you like him or not, Christian Horner is an unbelievable team principal. You might be right. Here is the man defending Max Verstappen Turn 1 incident, excuse me, which we've already talked about. Now there is a but, and there's a massive but here. Because Max Verstappen, at no point, Red Bull never ever, and I understand in a way, publicly never criticised Max. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. There's a suggestion that he doesn't even get criticised behind the scenes what he does. Then this comment here is then, I think, more significant. Yes, like him or loathe him, I do believe Damon Hill has a point. He said, Damon Hill says Red Bull's unwavering support allows Max Verstappen to do whatever he likes. With Christian Horner, he says, consistently defending his driver's tactics. Verstappen's penalties in Mexico for aggressive moves on Lando Norris highlights his approach. Now, Hill sees Red Bull's protection as a factor in Verstappen's attitude, comparing him to past aggressive drivers like Senna. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Senna was as aggressive as Max. As Max did, well, you say that, but he did take Alan Prost out to win a championship. There's a lot more nuance though to that than just I want to win, around the corner because of Mr. Celeste. But I'm not going to get into that today. So Verstappen. It's almost like when you have, not that I'm comparing Max to a child, when you got a child and you're yes, and you never say no, as a lot of people know, that little child may end up becoming a very difficult child, a difficult teenager, and a very difficult adult, unless there are some boundaries. And with what Damon Hill is suggesting, no, Max Verstappen doesn't seem to have those boundaries at Red Bull. Now, what do we mean by the Mexico incident? Well, this is it. This is, okay, as you can see here, it was paused now, that's Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen pushing Lando Norris wide. Having said that, when they looked at the telemetry, when they looked at everything, even though it visually looks very similar to the Piastri incident, it most certainly wasn't, and they felt no, that was like, they were both. Lando was slowed down enough to make the corner, and this is the corner after where Max then just absolutely sends it and then pushes them both off, which was the worst thing. Max Verstappen then getting a 10-second penalty. Whether you agree with that or not, and you can hark back to the Piastri thing, you're saying that's very similar. Oscar pushed Max off. And then here is Christian Horner, which is I think this is quite interesting, defending Max Verstappen.
Look, I mean, Max territory, I'm going to be okay. So I think really that the FIA and the drivers need to sit down and decide, what is acceptable and what what isn't. So
that I agree with.
I thought 10 seconds was a bit on the harsh side.
It was not.
Unsurprising, Zach. Didn't think it was enough. I want to ask you about turn 7. You mentioned the word dive bomb. I mean, from the outside, that's what it seemed like. He absolutely lunged down the inside, and they both ran off the track there. It's cost Max in the championship, right? Having 20 seconds. Is there a conversation for you to have with Max about this style of racing?
Well, look, I mean, you've always got to play to the rules, and we'll look and learn from this race.
And at that point, we'll look and learn. At no point does he say he's going to have a chat with Max. I kind of get it in a way. Or, maybe, but no. So some team principals say, yes, we will be having a chat with our driver, but not Christian Horner.
And I think more important for us to understand today, we just didn't have the pace. So,
classic Horner. I understand, just like a politician, changing the subject to not having the pace. No, I'm going to completely ignore your question, Kareem. We are not going to be telling Max to back off. Even more so, Red Bull is Verstappen's team. I completely get that. The car is made, if not around Verstappen, to assist Verstappen and his style of driving at the very least, which I understand. Just like with the Ferrari and Schumacher and Ferrari and Benetton. I completely get that. I get it at all. And this is in Mexico, as you can see here. Horner saying, I think we're in danger of flipping the overtaking laws upside down, defending Max. Red Bull has labelled Max Verstappen's penalties in Mexico as very harsh, which we all know about. That was 10 seconds for those two things. You can see all the stuff there, all the data. He's saying that, it was unfair, when, let's be honest, it was very clear that Max Verstappen, in many people's opinion, including us, deserved that penalty. But out comes Horner defending him again. It's, I think, potentially getting to the point where it's kind of a bit sad and silly when he's gone to that extreme. There is a but though, and the but is he's seen to be defending Max, and I think that's very important for Max Verstappen to be seen to be, my people believe in me, and that I completely understand and that I completely get. My people are believing in me. And Red Bull, I think, are very, very worried that Max Verstappen is going to leave them. Because without Max Verstappen, Red Bull are going to be struggling. Without a star driver like Max, who can, with that difficult car to drive, although he can't break the laws of physics, it is a fast car. Don't think it's like the 4th or 5th fastest, because it in no way is. But the way Max can drive it, he can get that. And let's be fair, he only finished a couple of seconds within reach of Oscar Piastri. That car, in the hands of Max, is fast, and it was the second best driver combination, car driver combination at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in qualifying, potentially the best, although Tsunoda giving him that toe may have a certain amount of say. But I think Christian Horner's attempts to keep on justifying Max's behaviour is not particularly good, particularly when he does it to the media. What happens are behind closed doors, is fair. I can see why Christian is doing it. I don't particularly agree with it. Do you? Comment below. Let us know. Are you mad that we're having a go? This is not like have a go at Max Day. We're just talking about a potential, an issue that keeps cropping up when it comes to Max Verstappen and the way Red Bull deal with him. By no means are we saying Max is not a talented driver. He's one of the most talented driver of this generation. You don't win 4 world championships if you are not. But as I said, there are a few little buts. But if you made it to the end and you are not, give us a subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and until then, thanks for watching. We'll speak to you soon, but above all else, stay safe.